Chicago recently sentenced two Nigerians to 30 years in jail. These gentlemen will be staying in jail till they are 70-something years of age. This story that I'm sharing with you today, there are lessons that we can learn from these stories. These guys' activities have ruined lives. They have used their ill-gotten ways to advance their own selfish motive. And at the end of the day, these guys who are in their 50s are going to be spending a long time behind bar. Report having that one of these guys in question, Anthony Ibieku Emeka, this guy is said to be very, very rich in his underworld. He has made a lot of money. Sadly, it is the greed. The guy could not stop what's already used to. There's an old saying that anything that is glinter, anything that sounds too good to be true, when you acquire wealth through ill-gotten means, it's only time before you are caught. Some people say, what happened to these two Nigerians in Chicago is karma. You have this other guy who is Samuel Ibieku. Report having that Samuel, just like Anthony, he has been involved in criminal underworld for many years, and he is very, very rich. These guys have made money through things like romance fraud, inheritance, all sort of fraud, and they have destroyed the reputation of Nigeria. For those of you that always say to me, oh, why Nigerian? I only report the stories. I am not the one that is destroying Nigerian story. I only report the stories. Just 2 weeks ago, a Nigerian who has been in America was flown back to Nigeria with his corpse. The guy died in jail. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us from the Lunch Club. My name is Francis. For those seeing my face for the first time, and for my returning subscriber, thank you for joining me today. On this plan, we share content to educate people. One of the best ways you can learn in life is to learn from other people's experience if you're wise. The case of the guy that I told you, his corpse was returned from the United States of America 2 weeks ago. He was actually buried in Edo State in Nigeria recently. This guy, he went to the United States of America. Before he went to America, he has done everything humanly possible to go to the US, a country that some people see as the land of the free, land of opportunity. The guy went to America. The only thing that he was interested in is easy money. He made a lot of money from credit card and check fraud. Lots of money that he didn't know what to do with the money. He was eventually caught, as most cases, because these guys, most of them, they always end up caught. The ones that don't end up caught, they make money, they spend the money on women and all sort of inflated lifestyles, and at the end, only very few of them end up using it well. In the case of this boy who was returned with his corpse from the US, he made so much money. He had 2 children for 2 different women in the US. He was eventually caught and sentenced to 25 years in jail. And while he was in jail, he had health problems. He did not receive proper attention in jail in America, and his situation deteriorated, and he was given a few days to leave. That is when the Americans decided to say, we need to find a way to repatriate this guy to go and die in Africa. Before you know what, the guy died in the US and his corpse was flown back to Nigeria. The guy, as I am speaking to you now, he has houses in Lekki in Nigeria. This guy that I'm talking about, he was only early 40s. He died chasing all this wealth before the guy was buried in Nigeria. His family and the two wives that he had in America, they started fighting over all the earthly riches that the young man died pursuing. The family, they don't want the girls in America. They say to the two women in America, if you come to Nigeria to fight for property, you will not go back alive. And the girls are saying to these guys, saying to the family, he has two children in America. The children, they deserve to benefit from their father's wealth. Meanwhile, this young man is gone. Why am I sharing this story? Don't get me wrong. I like money. I like free things. But anything that is glinter is not gold. This young man that has all his dream to go to America, he wasted it and he died in jail. And as we're speaking now, it's less than a month. The family and the two girls in America, they are fighting about property. Meanwhile, the brother has gone. Today, again, we have this case of a 50 years old man. Let me know in the comment section. The report having that Anthony Emeka Ibieku and Samuel Anyoku, these guys report having that they are very, very rich. They scam more than $3.5 million from people in America and all over the world. And they've made so much money that they still decide to continue their trade. They did not want to stop their trade until undercover agent decided to start investigating it. I want to know what your views are. Why do you think that these guys, is it karma? Some people say it's karma. Or do you think it's greed? Why do you think that these guys who have become millionaires through criminal activities, they did not want to stop? Some people said once you're used to getting money free, that you won't want, that you become addicted to that money, that money become like adrenaline in your brain. It drives you, the urge to make more, until these guys were arrested in the suburb of Chicago recently for romance scam. That was when they blew the whistle. The saddest part of this story is that both men, they are more than 50-something years. And they have now been given 30 years in prison. And one of the things that I like about the American system is if you've done the time, you deserve to go in. It's not like the UK where they will give you 5 years. After 3 years, you come back alive. If you're watching me now, you're planning to move to America, or you're in America, you want to have a career in crime, think about the consequence, because the US, you will go in for a long time. What is your view about this case of Anthony Ibieku Emeka and Samuel Anyoku? Some Nigerians are very, very focused on tribe. Whenever they hear that the person doesn't come from their tribe, they start addressing the issue. For them, tribe, they only see things from the lens of tribe. They will never, as long as it's not from their tribe, whether you come from Yoruba, Igbo, or any tribe, it is a Nigerian identity that is being tarnished. You might not be your tribe that has committed the crime, but people outside Nigeria don't look at tribe. We have to put away this madness that is tearing our society apart in Nigeria. We focus on the real issue. Politicians have used tribe to divide our people, that the only thing they've left for our people now is tribe, and the poor Nigerians are killing themselves, dividing themselves along tribal line. That madness must stop now. Anthony, he has family in the US. It's likely he may be deported in America. But the question I am asking is, for somebody who became a millionaire through crime, I have seen stories like this before, and I've heard a lot of stories. Like, why do you think that he was so greedy to the point where, despite the money that these guys have made, we're talking about people that have made millions in dollars, they ruin lives. Do you think that it is karma? That was why they couldn't stop? Or do you think that it is the greed, the law of money? Why is it that this 50 years old man, 50 years, imagine being 50 years, going to jail, knowing full well that you're going to be in jail till 70 years? What kind of life is that? Let me know in the comment section, and make sure you give this video a like to show appreciation to the Lunch Club. What is your view about these guys? Do you think that some people have said is a reflection of Nigerian society, a society where people worship wealth without questioning the source? People know that somebody is a criminal, they worship him. As long as he gives them peanuts, everybody starts banning that. Do you think that is the reflection of what we are saying? Let me know in the comment section, because whether we like it or not, we are a product of our environment. If you grow up in an environment where corruption and stealing is the norm, it is hard for you to see that as something that is not normal, because that is the way you have been raised. I want to know what your comment is. That doesn't mean every Nigerian is corrupt. What we're saying is that as a society, we need to reorientate ourselves, because we do not question the source of people's wealth. We worship those that are corrupt. As long we know the source of their wealth, we worship them. It starts from the political class, and most section of the Nigerian society. We are not immune from this. Is this what is responsible, and what is your solution? What is your thought? Anthony has been sentenced. It's going to be Anthony and Samuel have been sentenced. They will be in jail till they are 70-something years. Do you think that it is greed and karma that have caught up with them? Let me know in the comment section. And some of you will say, why you're mentioning their names? Because you know they are from a particular tribe. I only mention names when those names have been made public by the Department of Justice or any other institutions. That is when I mention name. So the question I'm asking you today is, what is your view about this guy's circumstances? And make sure you show appreciation to the Lunch Club by giving this video a like. Do you think it's karma that have caught up with these guys, or do you think it's greed for people who have dedicated, who have had career in crime? These guys have made a lot of money in crime, and they still couldn't stop, despite the fact that they became millionaire from ill-gotten wealth, and they still continue. These guys, one of the issues with a lot of these guys is they live inflated lifestyle. They live beyond their means to the point where they now believe that they struggle to sustain the kind of lifestyle and expectation that they've set for themselves. Somebody was sharing the story of a guy to me. The guy goes to club whenever he's made a lot of money in Atlanta, and he was buying wine for people, $500. So that he was going to places where they spend $500. Do you think that is madness or karma for you? And he was telling me the story of this guy, that this guy come from a very poor home, and as soon as he made money in the US, he completely forgot everything that he has been through. He forgot the friends, the trusted friends that he had that would have told him the truth. He forgot about them. Like this young man who I told you that he came, they brought his corpse from the US to come and die in Nigeria. This guy has only been in the US for less than 8 years, and now he has gone. His wives, 2 girlfriends that he left behind, they are fighting over the properties with his family, and the people that didn't even know how this guy worked for the money, they are now the one that are enjoying what he has labored for. So karma or greed? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like. We all have a role to play. This cannot continue where greed is fueling our people to do all sorts of things and destroying Nigerians' name. And before you tell anybody you're a Nigerian,